Listen, kids, once upon a time, there was a man who was very funny, a young Jewish man, and everybody liked him. And then he started graduating and making movies. And they were a little silly at first, but then they got better, except they didn't. And every so often, he'd turn out something good, but every so often also, he'd turn out a piece of shit.
And then he would put something worse than that out, and that's Bedtime Stories.
Now, explain what this movie's about to me, because it looks like it's Night at the Museum 2 with Adam Sandler.
You know how sometimes they go, well, fuck it, it's for kids. We don't really need to write anything so much as throw a bunch of colorful shit and jokes that don't make sense at it.
George Lucas made this movie?
Yeah, it might as well have been. It feels like from the pen of Lucas.
It's basically, you know how Adam Sandler can't tell a simple story? He's always got to convolute it with a bunch of off-the-wall characters that he thinks are funny.
And gay jokes?
Yeah, but all they do is just muddle the story. So here we have him as, he always has to play like some little nice guy who loves kids.
Always, yeah.
Yeah, always. He grew up, him and his sister grew up with their dad who owned a motel. And it was a sweet motel. There wasn't a big motel, but it had everybody come in and everybody liked it. Dad was a bad businessman, lost it to a conglomerate, but who's told him, like, but one day my son will get to run things, right? Oh, don't worry about it. So 30 years later, Adam Sandler, the son, is still working as a handyman at this motel. And from here, we come to, okay, there's a contest. The guy who owns the hotel says, I want to build a new hotel with a theme. And I'm either going to give it to my right-hand man or to you, Adam Sandler, if you can come up with a better idea for it. Now, how do bedtime stories work into this? Well, here comes the convoluted part.
It makes no sense.
No sense. Courtney Cox is his sister. She's got to leave to go out of town. I need you to watch my kids. Her kids are on a macrobiotic diet. They're not allowed to watch TV. He's like, no, TV? All right, well, I'll tell you a story. And so he tells them bedtime stories based on his life about what a loser he is. But whenever the kids say, like, no, that story sucks, let us tell it. And whenever they tell something about it, some kind of magical thing happened, gumballs rain out of the sky, whatever, it comes true.
And that is the perfect ending to our last story. Thank you, children.
Oh, that's not the ending. Yeah, that'd be too obvious.
What do you mean?
Somebody threw a fireball at Skeeto, and Skeeto got incinerated. The end.
Incinerated?
No. The story can't end like that. What? We're really going to have me on fire? Hey, don't fall asleep in the story block. Stop it. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
So are you following me?
Wait a minute. So wait. How do they come to life? Where's the explanation?
Okay, hold on, because Corey right now is trying to figure out how he can get some kids over to his place to tell a story that involves pussy raining from the sky.
No, I'm trying to figure out how to make my penthouse letters come to life.
Well, you got to get the kids to be able to say that, though. That's the problem. And then you get arrested, and there's a whole thing.
Oh, shit.
You don't want
Okay.
that. No, it's like,
and it has to happen within a movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it can't be real life. No, like the kids at one point say, and then it rained gumballs. And so in real life, like a gumball truck hits an overpass above a bridge where he is, and so gumballs rain down.
Man, I hate when that happens.
Yeah, like shit like that. You know, it's like, okay, it does come true, but only kinda, you know. And it's just, you're like, okay, so why is this happening? Well, shut up.
Yeah.
That's the movie's only real response.
Oh, really?
It's like they don't even go into
Damn,
it.
Carlisle's right. If only it was that simple. I had my nephew in bed. Man, let me tell you about this hoe I wanted to tap that ass with the other night.
That's a terrible story, Uncle Corey.
Shut up!
Let me tell you about the one where she and her friends have a pillow fight.
That would be acceptable too, probably, to Uncle Corey. But the kid be more like, let me tell you about the time you went to prison and got gang raped.
No!
Wait, no. I think that's called the grilled cheese.
Yeah.
Grilled cheese.
So you got Guy Pearce in this overacting as his nemesis.
Guy Pearce is in
Guy,
the
yeah.
I just
It's
can't
sad.
believe he's the same guy from LA Confidential.
Me either.
You're like,
Jesus
oh my God.
Christ.
Memento. Yeah.
Memento.
He's just become this caricature of himself at this point. Just like, wow, he's so off. Well, okay.
Well, it's just
Everyone's
It's just
awful
this
in
movie. I mean, I think when people get in an Adam Sandler movie like this, they don't know what to do. And when they don't know what to do, they just act goofy. And nobody directs them and says, like, no, don't play it that way. So, you know, you got Guy Pearce in it. Lucy Lawless, Xena, is in it.
Barely recognizable.
Yeah, I was excited. I was like, oh, she's in this. But she's barely in it, and what she has to do is terrible. I mean, this is really like a Disney Channel movie. It's like all those shows, except it's Adam Sandler doing it. And the thing is, I thought, like, for the most part with Adam Sandler, with like movies like Mr. Deeds and just so many of the other ones that I hate, Big Daddy, I wouldn't expect any more from him. But every so often, he'll come up with something like Don't Mess with the Zohan, which shocked me how funny I thought that movie was.
Oh, The Water Boy, or The Wedding Singer.
Yeah, it's like, okay, he's shown that it's possible for him to do funny movies, but this one is nowhere near one of them.
His shtick works sometimes.
Yeah.
And I like Adam Sandler movies a little more than I think you guys do. Not that much more, but a little bit. And there wasn't one thing in this movie that I so much as chuckled at. I just sat and went, I was angry. I went, who wrote this out loud several times during this
Jesus
movie?
Christ.
There are points in the so-called plot where they just make shit up on a turn. They go, oh, and the reason that happened was because of this thing that you don't know anything about that never entered the story at all. But that's just a way to get to the next thing they need to get to.
Well, damn, I'm thinking, like, who would want to hear a bedtime story from Adam Sandler anyway? It's like, before you go to bed, let me tell you about Little Nicky. It's like,
He's supposed to be like, I guess we're supposed to identify with him or like him, but he's a douchebag.
He really is.
What, is he in every movie?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's just what he is in every movie is a man-child, and he's this again. I mean, nobody would be a handyman at a hotel for 30 years and still believe like, well, one day they're gonna make me the guy who's running things.
He's a cross between a retard and Joe the plumber. You know, he's just, there's no reason why I would want to root for this guy to run a multi-million-dollar hotel business, because it would never happen.
So where does Rob Schneider show up?
Oh yeah, sure.
How'd you know?
I don't know. I have these powerful psychic urges that tell me that Rob Schneider's somewhere.
You
in
know,
this
Rob
movie.
Schneider's going to show up, but what's Rob Schneider going to do?
You can do it.
Yes, he's going to play some ethnic stereotype,
And
right?
does he say that?
He says, "I can do it."
Oh my God!
He's
Get that.
a Native American this time.
Jesus.
He plays a big chief, a Native American.
How long you gonna ride that shit out, man?
He literally looks at the screen and goes, I can do it. Like
God,
the whole,
and-
like we know there's an audience. Get it?
And this is a Disney film. Kids are like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
No, kids have the internet, Corey.
Oh, okay. I guess so. They're tired of it as much as adults are. Then
Yes, they are.
Use as much as you want the excuse. Oh, but it's for kids. But you know what? You can use that for anything. You could put together any piece of shit and say, no, it's for kids. It doesn't have to be good. This is just crap. The only reason kids would like this is because it's brightly colored moving images.
Really?
You could show them anything.
that was going to be my question.
If you love your kids, they deserve better than this.
Yeah.
Wait, say that again.
I said, if you love your kids, they deserve better than this.
Just put them in front of a fish tank. It'll be more educational than this is and more entertaining. This is absolute bottom of the barrel, some old bullshit garbage.
Well, you know we have a rating now called "Fuck You."
Okay, you're right. You're right. I've never given a fuck you. This is a fuck you.
Wait, do we
I didn't
actually
see-
have a fuck you?
Everybody likes that, so I'm like saying, go
Really?
ahead.
I
If you feel that strongly about it,
'Cause,
fuck
man,
you.
we've been saying fuck a lot lately in the last month or two.
Some old bullshit's about as low as it gets.
Okay, I'm just saying. I've given, like, when I saw the disaster movie, some old bullshit didn't encompass my anger. I
That's
just
true.
said,
If you hate it so much you're angry, that is below some old bullshit.
That's like-
and this is below that. This is a fuck you. I didn't see the Love Guru, which
me-
I hear is worse.
Yeah, the Love Guru,
No.
that's a fuck you.
But this was definitely a fuck you. This was, man, I walked out of there angry, wanting to go to Hollywood and beat somebody up.
Well,
okay,
damn,
that is
Cyrus.
truly a fuck you when you want to hurt somebody.
Yes, I did.
Look,
Okay.
look, I ain't like Cyrus all hard-hearted and everything. I mean, I can see the good in things, and you know what? I mean, forget everything he just said. I'm gonna give it some old bullshit.
Talking like him, like he just walked out of the workout chamber at prison.
Yes.
He's like, he's one hardcore motherfucker. I don't want to mess with him and his opinions on bedtime stories.
Bedtime story. Fuck a bedtime story.
I mean, I wish I could recommend this as something like, hey, you could take your kids to and have a good time, and they might like it just because kids like when things are aimed at them.
Yeah.
But for you sitting there, it's like, man, I cannot wait for this to be over.
Damn. Okay.
Nothing redeeming.
Nothing really.
Nothing redeeming.
Nothing.
This better not drop its soap in the shower, or I'm gonna fucking take that motherfucker out.
And you got okay. Maybe if you were a fan of Felicity and you're like, oh, Carrie Russell's in this, I love her. But man, not only is she a bitch through this whole movie, she has got one note. Everything that she comes on, she goes like, yeah. okay.
And then you're supposed
Whatever.
to want her and Adam Sandler to get together.
Yeah.
You're like, why would I wish her on anyone, even this douchebag?
Right.
I'm still hung up on the movie bending over in the shower. That's
Yeah.
Well,
that's
I
a
figured
little gay.
I figured it's the only way I get any pleasure out of it is that way. So.